Lordan, who's won the Derby. Derby winning rider, Wayne Lordan, how does it sound the morning after?
It sounds good. Good morning to you. How are you?
We're all well, but probably not as well as you, I would think.
Yeah, no, we're in good form, and so we're happy, so it's good.
Just having had a chance to reflect, just how highly do you rate yesterday's performance and the feel that this horse gave you in winning the Derby?
Yeah, look, it's a great achievement for any jockey. So look, it's one that is always very welcome on any jockey CV. So no, I'm very pleased and very happy. And yeah, the horse done everything to perfection yesterday. He jumped and he travelled and he enjoyed it in front. And every time I asked him, he kept giving me everything he has, and he won well to line.
And just to the eye, Wayne, it looked as though you were just gently nudging him along, and he was just had all the time in the world, as though he was enjoying a bit of a stroll in the park. Is he just that sort of relaxed customer?
Yeah, he's a very kind-natured horse, and that's the way he's doing his normal canters in the morning. He just does what he has to do, but you're always kind of just asking him to just keep the rhythm going, and that's the way it worked out yesterday.
Is there a danger, because he's a little bit like that we're almost damning him with faint praise? The numbers coming out of yesterday's race are actually pretty good, and they're almost comparable with his own sire Australia. If you look at some sets of figures that I've been sent overnight, that we're almost in danger of saying, well, he's a stayer, so therefore, rather than, well, actually, this could be a very classy horse.
Yeah, no, he is a very classy horse. I just think it's the way he carries himself and the way probably the jockey has to ride him. He doesn't look flashy. He doesn't travel hard on the bridle, and he doesn't quicken, and you're kind of saying, wow. He just rolls up his sleeves and he gets stuck in. So from the eye, he probably doesn't look flashy, but when you go on times and his performances, he's actually a good horse.
And to what extent did you really believe going into yesterday?
Well, his work has been very well and strong, and you're just, when you're going into a derby, you're hopeful that everything goes right. And I just felt if I could get him up in the first three, and a good even tempo, that I felt like I'd be going forward early enough for him. And I just felt he would definitely, on paper, there was a lot of question marks over horses staying. There's good horses in the race, but they all had to prove that they could stay. But we knew that this has won at the trip, and we felt ourselves that he was going to stay it well. So that's what was it was a positive for us.
How well do you think he would operate in a race of that calibre if the ground was much quicker?
I think he'd be fine. I think he has won on both grounds, and I don't think he's tied to it. He's a good loose moving horse, and I think he just handles any ground. You do come across horses that can cope with either grounds, and I think he is one of them.
It was very, very close to being a remarkable weekend for you, because you nearly won the Oaks on Whirl. How strong an Oaks do you think it was?
It felt a strong Oaks. My filly's a very nice filly, and I think she is a good filly. And she's a shade like Lambourn. She just bowls away. She does saves a little bit, and when you got after, she finds plenty. To be honest, when you're beaten, you're always kind of thinking in your head after. But after I watched the replay a few times, Ryan looked like he was going to come and beat me well. And his filly had a look and showed a little bit of greenness and gave me a chance to come back at him. But I think if Ryan's filly went by me smooth and didn't show any greenness, he'd have probably beaten me a length, and I'd be absolutely delighted with my filly. So even though you get beat and you're a tad disappointed, I was still over the moon with my filly, and I thought she gave me everything that was asked of her.
It was a spectacular performance. We were reminding ourselves earlier today, and indeed yesterday, that 2 Irish Derbies ago you were down and not that far from being out. How much was that on your mind in the aftermath of yesterday, the way that the wheel has turned?
Yeah, no, I just feel, look, it happens to a lot of jockeys. It's an up and down game, and I just feel very privileged. I was the lucky one that I was able to get back at it again. And I don't think about it much, because if you're thinking about it, it's not good for you and it's not good for your riding. So I don't think about it. Just move on.
And move on, I'm sure, now to plenty more success this season and beyond. Wayne, thanks so much and many congratulations.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.